It's Frequently Asked Questions podcast. Fuzzy and Quincy, we are here now. This is a real legend. This is Fuzz. I can't even tell you the introduction. I first got probably Rap City, probably BET. Probably I was like 7, 8 years old.
Knee high to a grasshopper.
Over 20 solo albums. Cultural icon.
Legendary.
Just a super legend. We have the legendary Too Short.
Oh, Too Short.
Too Short. What's up, brother?
What's up, man? You know, living the life, man. Living it, you know?
Yeah, thank you for coming to the FAQ podcast.
Yeah, man. Frequently Asked Questions. Make sure you like, subscribe.
Y'all say legend, man, but I'm still making a story. It's a story that's being told, and we in it. We deep in it, but it's still some more shit.
So you don't take legend.
They say living legend. Legend. I don't say it. You know what I'm saying? But I'm laying down a legendary legacy. No doubt about it. I look at it. I compare the numbers. I compare the years to some of my favorite artists ever, and I'm like, I'm in there. Still, when you talk about artist legacy, you know, just the body of work. Like, we got some geniuses, man. We got 5-10 years out of them, you know? Yeah. And it's like other people we get 15, 20. Other people we get more. Yeah. So I'm just trying to be a part of that conversation in hip hop. Yeah. Hip hop, where they say, well, hip hop, you know, you got to stop at a certain age, or it never really happens for you after a certain age, or you can't get in it after a certain age. I'm just trying to say all that's bullshit.
Oh no, you should. I mean, you showed that.
Yeah.
After album,
it's
before album
me.
10.
It's me and a few others showing you that, and I'm thinking it's gonna be some more that follow. And then in the long version, hip hop won't have that conversation of.
Yeah, because you know, this is how I feel about it. Because rock and roll, they take care of their own.
Yeah.
Rolling Stones can still do it.
I mean, the blues, you can work till you young man to an old man. Nobody say nothing.
Yeah. So why can't we treat our own like that in hip hop? There's no expiration date.
It's happening right now, though. It really is happening right now. You are getting that effect, that Rolling Stones, you know, old dudes concert selling out. Hip hop is doing that shit now. Yeah. If you put the legacy artists together, East Coast, down south, or the West, you put them together, they sell out the arena,
hands down.
And it's the same fun ass concert that if it was sold out with Drake or somebody, you know, it's the same fun to that crowd.
Yeah. No, I mean, we grew up on it, so now it's like I'm not listening to. We still listen to rap.
Yeah, we still listen to rap.
But it's a fun experience, man. If you got Bone Thugs, Snoop Dogg, Too Short, Ice Cube, E40, I can name some more. Jump on that stage on the same night. You in the audience, you get to see all these acts who put on a really good show.
Yeah.
To this day, and you get, man, I just see the crowd, man. They have so much fucking fun.
And that crowd probably couldn't see you back in the day because they couldn't afford a ticket, but now they can afford a ticket.
I do a version of that with Ice-T's crew, the Art of Rap. Okay. And it's like Big Daddy Kane, you know what I'm saying? You know, Ice-T come out on the stage. Yeah. Fucking, it's a whole different crew than the West Coast crew.
Right.
Same shit, though. Crowd be out there loving that shit.
Eating it up.
Go down south, it'd be fucking Trina, Trick Daddy, MJG, 8-Ball, fucking Bun B, Mystical, you know, Juvenile, and arena sold out. So I'm like, we there, man. We Rolling Stones.
Hell yeah. I remember seeing you. This was like '97. I went to it's probably like the last Freaknik. I'm young.
I missed Freaknik.
Oh, it was crazy.
96 was the last attempt they gave, and it was just it was terrible.
Yeah, it was. But you were living down in Atlanta for a second.
I moved to Atlanta in '93.
Yeah. So,
damn.
Yeah. How long were you out there for?
15 years, 93 to 2008. But you know, I was in Atlanta. That was my home base at that time. But I never stayed away from Oakland, stayed away from LA, stayed away from, you know, the places I would be, like New Orleans. I just had made Atlanta my home base.
Man. Can we clear up something right now? We got a sense of a real Oak town. Clear up everybody when they say the Bay, and what's the difference between Bay and Oakland or the town?
So when you get up to NorCal, you got these areas outside of the Bay. You got like Stockton, Fresno, not too far away. You got Sacramento right up the road. Yeah, those are not the Bay, but that's Northern California. It's a lot of cities around there, and they love that Bay music, you know. Yeah. So the Bay is what you say. Where you from, man? I'm from the Bay. Whatever, you know. But there's a pride in certain places, and Oakland, we ain't saying nothing about nobody else, but you mostly get people from Oakland to say, where you from? I'm from Oakland. They don't really say I'm from the Bay. They don't really say, you know, they might get specific and like, I mean, I'm from East Oakland. I'm from West Oakland. They just say that.
Is that town business?
That is all town business, and it's just a thing.
Shout out to Brittany.
That I don't know. It's a prideful city, man.
It's very prideful.
Oakland is probably the smallest city in America that had 3 major sports franchises that were fucking getting chips. Little ass town of population 400,000.
Wow. That's small.
You go look around and just think of all the cities that don't have 3 major teams. Like just may have a basketball and a baseball or just one fucking major team. Some cities like they just got that one major team, a baseball, football, basketball, and that's it.
Yeah.
Cities are way bigger than Oakland. And
why is that? Why do you think it was like that back in the day?
I fucking really don't know how this little ass city pulled it off, but I do know that it has the spirit of it has a lot to do with the blue collar like energy that like we work hard to get ours, you know what I'm saying? We a little city next door to the big city, right, you know, a few minutes away from San Francisco. Yeah. San Francisco's internationally known city, you know, just the big city, but you know, Oakland is it's where they founded the Black Panthers.
Right.
You know, it's where they founded the Hells Angels. You know what I'm saying? In the same little ass city. Like that's 2 fucking different extremes right there in each other's backyard. And you know what I'm saying? It's just, I find that like amazing that those 2 organizations could be from the same little ass town.
And totally opposite.
And so much more, man. I mean, the music legacy out there, and it's just, you just walk around and I'm proud of the Bay Area.
Yeah.
As it extends out, I'm proud of the Bay Area, but I'm really fucking glad that I'm from Oakland in the Bay Area. That to me is my thing. So I in different pockets of the Bay, you got a lot of pride, man. You got to look at Vallejo. They got a lot of pride. Vallejo has legacy before E40. You know what I'm saying? And E40 stands up on that music legacy as well as what comes from the vibe of the city and the neighborhoods and shit. So you know, it's the Bay, man. That's what it's a lot of it's something that you got to get in there and check out the gumbo of it, and you know it's a lot of flavor, man.
I thought by listening to your music as I was in school or whatever, when I went to Oakland, I thought it was gonna be nothing but real pimp. I thought I was gonna see it like everywhere.
It's a good city, man.
No, yeah, but you paint the picture like,
oh yeah, like
I thought it was gonna be like, oh my God, I was about to see. I'm about to see it.
Pimping going on.
Pimping going on. And when I got there, I was like, oh, there's pockets of it, but it wasn't.
But let me tell you this though, anywhere you find a city or area where prostitutes, you know, are known to work that area, you know, like Hawaii or some shit like that, like places where it's known to get it, you're gonna find Oakland pimps there. They're always there.
Why is that?
Because
it's a game.
Because they teach that shit out there. They teach it in a way that that some, you know, it's different styles too, man. Like when I think about pimping and talking to somebody who don't know shit about it, it's hard to explain that there really are some fucked up sides to it, but there really are some other really gentleman sides to it that, you know, that certain guys, you know, they come in there and they really do really good at it, and everybody's fucking happy. It's like a business. It's not like any kind of slavery or any kind of illegal shit or any kind of motherfucking you know, fucking like uncomfortable you know, connections and shit. You know what I'm saying? Motherfuckers are doing what they want to do, and it's really like empowering for some people involved because people come from fucked up situations already. And that shit sometimes is a much better situation to fall into.
All right, so Too Short, I'm gonna be real with you, bro. I'm new to the pimping game. You know what I'm saying? So are you? You know, we heard about you talking about very descriptive pimping.
It's in the music.
In the music. Were you a pimp? Were you teaching?
Well, I felt like if I put it in the music,
okay,
and I did it, I probably would have the easiest case to prosecute in court. So at all points in times, I never got into trying to be a pimp because I had a good ass job. Like I was around opportunities to sell drugs and all kind of stuff while I was broke and when I started having money. to get involved in some street shit. And I was around the right people who I wasn't really interested, but at the same time, a couple of times came along and I was like watching, the flip, and I'm like, shit, it take that long to do that and that. I should just flip a couple of times just for the fuck of it. But I had some good guys around me that was like, dude, you got a damn good job. Fuck, don't do what I do. Like, I wish I could do what you do.
So when you say good job, you mean your rap career?
Yeah, just rapping, doing shows, side hustling, you know what I'm saying? Just,
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so, and even at the times where it was irresistible and like the baddest little situation, little chick is like choosing up and like bro, I love that shit you spitting on the song. I want to get down with you. I don't give a fuck. However I dabbled in the shit, a bitch could never get what I get. Like she could never go out and hustle and compare to that rap hustle. So if rap was my bitch, if that's my hoe, my rap career, I'm pimping that motherfucker.
To the
no other hoe could even compare to that what that's bringing in. So it was almost like it clashed.
Yeah.
And at the same time, I'm intelligent enough to know that you fuck around with these hoes out here trying to make 1/10 of what you get in a fucking one show for 60 minutes work. I'm out here stressing this bitch out for what I do for 60 minutes.
Yeah, come on now.
And then it's all like self incriminating, man. So I'm like, why? I'm smart enough to know like it don't make sense.
But you rapped with about your surroundings, right? It's like, I'm born and raised in Compton. He's from Philly. So I understand what NWA was doing. What
you understand the rappers who are street poets. Now a rapper will come along and be a real gang member.
Yeah.
So some other rappers have been real fucking pimps, but the pimps know the shit that I'm spitting was some shit that I went in the street, studied, learned, and it would take me no effort at all to turn some bitches out and just be a cold ass pimp. But they know this shit and they like, he doing what he's supposed to do with the game. Spread it, teach it, spit it right. People that's getting it wrong out there, tell them the right way to do it. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes when it's a street poet and he's from a certain hood and he never got in the gang shit, real gang niggas love that nigga because he's spitting poetry of their life. And the way he says it is different than if somebody was,
really active.
You know what I'm saying? So if it fits, you need that little balance and shit. And I feel like a whole bunch of real pimps embraced me immediately, knowing that I was not pimping hoes, but they knew that game was like the soundtrack to what they were doing. And the hoes too. Like the hoes love Too Short. Like real working bitches love hearing that shit talking about the game. And then
people's favorite.
You know what I'm saying? So even that persona is a thing that could get you ready for work in the morning. It could get you ready for a date or, just ready to confront some shit. That just hearing that pimp music and you get out the car, you like bitch, the fuck I am. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like you ain't feeling like, you feel like Short Dog. Like, fuck that shit, bitch.
Bitch.
You know what I'm saying?
Because I know, I was like, I would listen to it and I'm like, dog, this sounds, it's almost like Pusha T, right? Like I listen to Pusha T, I'm like, and I got street dudes that be like, yo, he sold it or he was around it. So I always wanted to ask you, like,
oh yeah, I mean,
really pimp? Yeah,
I dabbled. I sat around it like a large part of my life is sitting in a room full of pimps and hoes, just cutting the shit, and just it's a community, So, I wasn't
raised up on it,
but at the same time, I feel like part of that pimp game is doing what the fuck you want to do. And you are manipulating the elements around you to make your shit to look the best, be the best, feel the best, So I feel like I was doing my version of what the fuck I wanted to do. I wanted to be a super player. I didn't want to be a player. I wanted to be a super player. Like I wanted to be like that guy. Every time I see that guy, he always got a bad bitch. No, every time you see Too Short, he always got 5 bad bitches. Always.
Right.
And 5 is like a low number. So okay.
Keep it 100.
I just, motherfuckers like, it's pimping, bro. Like, if I'm hanging out with 8 chicks, I'm not telling them to go sell something, do this, and they not necessarily hoes or even hoe-ish. Nice young ladies with careers. We just kicking it, but that's that vibe, bro. They like it, I like it.
When have you ever been out of town and you just seen it go? This is getting out of hand. This this person shouldn't be saying this to me. Like, have you ever been like, oh, hey, stop?
There are limitations to interactions, man. Like, you can't just do anything. You can't. And disrespect pops up in little ways around the shit. But where I'm from, that part is a win or lose situation.
Got it.
Disrespect is when if no matter where it comes, you finna win or lose. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta fight the fight, man. So shit.
Don't fight the feeling though.
I'm just saying, if disrespect it's all kind of ways to interpret it, and it's not even like a thing that you write down a piece of paper. It's like I'm feeling disrespected, and it's I give it up front to people who come in and be respectful. I give you respect, but the people I roll with and the way we just do it, it's just like
Yeah, I get it.
Just we, what I'm saying.
You've been doing this since '83 or '80.
I know how to talk to people. Like, people come up wrong. I know how to kind of like talk to motherfuckers like that last little, like, let's not be disrespectful. I really know how to say shit like that to people, like
in a respectful way.
Yeah, man. Like really, like bro, like like you hugging me and squeezing me and you pushing it all in my space. Your breath is bad. I be like, I tell them all kind of shit. Like, man, dude, I'm with 4 bitches. And you want me to stand and have a whole conversation with you. I said, what's up? We took a picture. What else do you want, homie?
Yeah. Keep it moving.
Like, if you was me, you got the 4 girls and you got the one homie right here. What you gonna do? And they be like, all right, short, all right, man.
Like, I'm shooting.
Just keeping it real with them.
Like,
yeah.
Logic.
Yeah.
It works sometimes. And I think, E40 got some sayings about that shit. Like, the shit that could have happened right before somebody shot somebody.
Yes.
The other version that could have happened, the little moment
before,
of understanding. Like, what was you mean? What you mean? Oh, nigga, I thought you wanted to fight. But you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
A whole lot of lives have been saved. If just one moment of clarity.
Yeah. Like, yeah.
A little bit of logic.
What? Okay, so you've been doing this since 83? You said 83?
Has it been 83?
I started rapping in 1980, kind of dabbling around, doing shit, made some homemade tapes. I did it for a little while, and then I had met this guy named Freddie B. That was 1982. So, like, for a 3-year run, we just made all these tapes in the streets.
And you was slinging them out the trunk.
The trunk is a fucking myth.
Oh, so you never really did it out the trunk?
We was on the bus. We started on the fucking bus with, like, bags of tapes, like just going to the hood and selling tapes, and then probably like somewhere in there, Freddie B bought a car, and you know what I'm saying? It's a myth. Like, they like all them niggas that pull up and bounce, pop up in the trunk. Man, we was more like pulling up on motherfuckers. We was pulling up on motherfuckers like a paper route,
right?
Like a delivery, like jump out and like we got some new shit, we got some old shit. What you want? You want customized shit and motherfuckers. I used to keep like a little pen and pad of certain little spots that wanted, like, that had a little demand. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, let's go take that over to these niggas over there, because they might have heard some niggas over at the next hood had a cool little mix. We used to do different mixes, like different little instrumentals, talk different shit
to certain hoods.
So you do like customized, like I heard that. So you do customized joints. So people come up to you like, yo, short, I need this about.
We had a lot of tapes. Like me and Freddie B would go make we wouldn't make rap songs every day, but we'd just sit down one day and just fucking make like 5 of them one day. Just get some new instrumentals. Mm-hmm. Like, I got some banging instrumentals. Like, I used to go to the record store and buy all kind of hip hop records, any kind of records, anything that had the instrumental on the B side.
Yeah. And
we just would find the right ones. It's like a new song in the hood. So basically, we got really popular at that shit. So that was later on when I got bigger and did it and started distributing music all over the Northern California and even getting it down to SoCal and shit. Then we had some whips, and we used to have boxes. We used to take them to the record store and sell them a box or whatever.
Right.
But in the early days, me and Freddie B used to jump on the bus.
Damn.
With like a sandwich bag full of fucking cassettes.
and how much was the price? Do you remember?
We sold the regular ones for $5 and the customized ones for $20. And then anywhere in there, any kind of deal, like anything was up for negotiation. Like, you can give me a $5 bag of weed. You can give me $4 if I felt like it at the time. You could
whatever.
You could say, man, me and my homie want 3 of us want one. Give me 10. Y'all can have 3. Fuck it. Just like whatever the moment was, because we was dealing with drug dealers. Like, them niggas is coming in. negotiating.
Oh, right.
It's like, bro, man, I got these. It's 5, man. Shit, I got 4 right here, bro.
Yeah.
Shit, give me.
So you was in school doing this?
High school, yeah. Me and Freddie B. Somebody done snatched somebody.
Yeah. Hold up. Okay,
Get a bitch back.
Yeah, man.
Something going on.
Get a bitch back.
Please get her.
Well, none of y'all niggas read it. It might be right down the street.
Yes.
I mean, everybody's a device going off right now.
Who's missing? It says somebody's missing.
Endangered elderly.
What?
Elderly. Okay.
Lady.
All right.
Sorry.
Well, I'm sorry.
Hope she gets back.
Yes. So you dealing with these drug dealers helped you, one, with distribution, understand the distribution, 2, learning how to deal with record labels, because if you're dealing with these people, that had to be a easy transition.
Well, yeah, you know, I mean, I put that on Oakland, period, and that could be anybody's experience in Compton, whatever, because something in the water in Compton. That motherfucker make megastars.
Hell yeah!
Like we went down the list of what Compton contributed to hip hop. It's major.
Yeah,
and the world shit, sports, all that shit. So, but I put that on Oakland because if you gotta sell tapes to the hardest motherfuckers in the city, and then that's our fan base, so they like, you know, we put our little DJing skills together, and we would DJ all the parties on the weekend, at least one Friday and one Saturday every weekend, and it would be the thug parties, all the little hood parties. So we was not only like the dudes that sold you the tapes, but we was also the dudes that DJ'd all the parties. And if we DJ'd your party, sometime through the night, probably like midnight, a little later maybe, we would we put on a show. So you hired us to get that little part of the DJing too, and fucking
do a show.
By the time I got to like audiences, it was like the easiest shit in the world.
Because you had been doing that parties.
These house parties, you ain't on no stage. The DJ is probably like in the fucking kitchen or like somewhere in the room, because we in little ass apartments and little ass houses. We somewhere strategic, and then we come get our little microphone and come out and rap to niggas that's standing right in front of us. Right. Like right in your face, not elevated. Like you know, literally I don't get motherfuckers just be standing like, what you gonna do, bro? Like and we make it fun. So I knew every time I ever got a crowd, bro, I know to make it fun. And make it fun.
So you and Freddie B did this early. And you're in high school, so you're going to school with paper. Like you're like the man on campus.
I always had pocket change. Never had to get like a job. But mind you, now we're in Oakland, so the man on campus is obviously the little D boys, right? Like, you know, sports players got their vibe. The D boys had their vibe. I kind of always roll with the D boys, like in the crew, and I was the rap homie, so I'm in that same vibe. But I was never, even when I was like balling in Oakland and the crews I ran with, I was never the man. Like it was always somebody super shining, super fly in the street, super famous. And I was in the crew. Like I fell right in.
You fit in.
You know what I'm saying? I was right there with the guys. We sitting at the table, we having dinner, we talking shit, we laughing, but I was never like the one who could say, hey man, do that. Like, nah. I was in the crew. I was not the leader of the crew. I was very influential because I brought to the table things for us to do, places for us to go. When we get there, we're going to get treated a certain way because they expecting us to show up, and then they know how we show up. So we finessed it, man. Like we really like, you know, I took Oakland on a journey with me and my immediate crew. We took a lot of motherfuckers out on adventures, man, just in the name of Too Short.
Damn.
Wow. So when did it transition to like, yo, you getting on stages, it's popping, it's not just Oakland, it's not just the Bay, it's regional, it's whole California, it's whole West Coast.
When I dropped Freaky Tales.
Which is one of Snoop Dogg's favorite records.
I dropped Freaky Tales right around the same time Eazy-E dropped Boys in the Hood. And from that point on, it just, we just found each other. You know what I mean? Like, we knew each other out there, but we just found each other in a you know, it was Eazy's idea. He was like, well, I'm about to go out on tour, come with me. And it was just...
Was that your first tour?
Yeah, that was the first time I ever went out to the world. And that was just like the moment for it to happen while they was, you know, doing the fucking, you know... They dropped that was 89. They dropped Straight Outta Compton.
Yeah.
But it was coming off all those songs that had already been Dope Man, and fucking Boys in the Hood.
They on the radio.
They had a whole run. It was a lot of songs. And then they fucking dropped. And even the Easy Does It album came out. Like it was a lot of songs.
That was 89. Yeah.
And then Straight Outta Compton drops. And I got Freaky Tales out. Easy was like, let's go, bruh. I dropped Life Is Too Short that year. My album before Life Is Too Short was Born to Mac with Freaky Tales, Dope Fiend Beat. Did real good, but at the same time, Straight Outta Compton comes out, I dropped Life Is Too Short. That motherfucker went double platinum.
No, like it was cracking, bro.
Like it was the right moment to become that motherfucker.
And let's talk about this. It was all independent.
Yeah. Jive picked up Life Is Too Short. Jive Records. Like everything before that was independent.
Right.
And that's the time
Freaky Tales, all that shit.
Cat's not even, like, now you hear people like, I want to be independent, but this is back in.
But we didn't do it because we wanted to be independent. We did it because we didn't live in LA or New York.
We have access.
Yeah, it was like, what the fuck you gonna do? So,
damn.
That's how that went.
But how did Jive?
Jive just caught wind.
Wow.
And mind you, Jive is a very hip hop label. They had KRS-One and all that.
Now think about this. Think about all the labels that sign artists from the Bay. I don't know what label. Digital Underground was on Tommy Boy.
Tommy Boy. Yep.
Tupac went to Interscope.
Mm-hmm.
Richie Rich went to Def Jam.
Yep.
Spice One, E40, Be Legit, The Click, Too Short. I'm missing a few. All motherfuckers went to Jive Records.
Yep.
Ant Banks was on Jive. Pooh Man went to Jive. They came and did all that shit because of me.
Wow.
I came in there and was like, they just,
you opened the door for a lot of people.
Yeah, like, and even like I talked to Pimp C. He was like, man, I signed a Jive because they had Too Short.
Really? Yeah.
Like, for real. Motherfucker was like, and it worked.
That's crazy. That's like, I mean, I'm amazed because, I mean, this is, we're not even in year 12 of your career at this point. Like, there's so many stories, there's so much history and legacy with you. I mean, Fuzz, we can just go and start picking.
You have a hit on every project you're on, bro. And we're not even talking about the features yet.
Well, man, I'm gonna tell you like this. So early on, while we in the street selling tapes, it was just like a light bulb. You like, okay, these motherfuckers love that shit. Just the first people we ever sold it to. And then they told us, we came back to sell them some tapes. They said, man, the cats over there on the other block, they said, bring them some too. So we like, fuck, let's just go to every fucking block. And we started doing it. And it was like, we sitting there talking this shit on these beats, and we knew we couldn't sell them fast enough. Like, we couldn't run the machine fast enough at that point to make enough to sell to everybody that wanted one. So a lot of people used to just
bootleg it,
just copy one or whatever.
Yeah,
we knew that shit. We didn't give a fuck. That was making us famous. But I think later on, when it came time to make records, I just had that same mentality. I was like me and Fred, we'll go in there and make 5 songs in a day. We'll go in there and just like, the reason why we made 5 fucking songs, because the hustle, everybody was gonna buy everything we bought. So like, fuck it. Okay, now they all bought it. What we gonna do? Do it again. You feel me?
Yeah.
So we just wait a little while, couple months, make another run and shit, and just just kill them.
Have you sat back and thought about how many songs you've recorded?
Hell no. Like I've thought to myself, that's a number you'll never know, because there's no way to count them, because I did so many motherfucking underground songs that no one knows. It's an impossible thing to figure out how many studios that I pull up to and rap with some niggas in Detroit and Miami and New Orleans, and like, it's a lot.
Has it blown your mind you've been somewhere and somebody come up and they know the tapes from back in Oakland? You like, dog, how do you even know that?
Yeah, Snoop Dogg recites rhymes from shit that
all the day
ain't never been released. I'm like, the fuck you know that shit? Like,
you get it.
Yeah, he knows some shit. So it's people out there that have the things that the information they retain, man, is like, it's like very, very unique.
Who gave you the name Too Short?
My brother and his friends named me Short because I was short as fuck. And then I got the Too Short from the movie Penitentiary. the lead dude in the movie, his name was Too Sweet. So they kept calling me short, and I wasn't really like feeling that shit because they would say it in a funny way, you know, like short, like, you know, like a little ass nigga. And then Too Sweet was beating everybody up in the movie and fucking all the bitches. So I was like, okay, then he Too Sweet, I'm too short. And I went and got a jacket, and I put Too Short, like Sir Too Short on the back, with the matching hat with the Sir Too Short, you know, the black with the gold letters with the wings and shit. They iron them on.
Yeah.
I put down one sleeve. I put international, and I put player on the other one. And they tried to clown me a little bit, but then I had my little rap tape, and I was busting moves outside of my brother's circle. Like they was the big homies who I was always looking for the validation and shit. But then I went outside. I had the little radio and shit, the jacket and the short. And by the time they couldn't put me in the box with the little short joke, and I went out there and made Too Short pop, and they was like, they had to give in. They tried, but it was all, you know, they was just trying to tough me up a little bit, but the name didn't have the right intentions at first. I put the twist on it.
Did you ever, like, in high school, were you like, okay, I'm going to rap, or do you like, all right, I'm gonna do a trade or something when I got out of here, or I'm gonna go to college, or
you know, my parents was pushed for that college all the way. Both my parents had degrees, and they would push for that. This is what you're gonna do. And they was basing it on, like, you know, this is just how you get the best opportunities in life. This is what you do. And I got it. And then I'm like diving deep into this other shit, and I'm thinking like, man, you know, I could fucking like do this rap shit, but it wasn't really looking like the kind of thing you can get rich off of in 1982. No. You know, Run DMC kind of introduced that. You could see it coming a little bit, but I don't think the real, a whole bunch of people gonna get rich theory kicked in until a little later off of hip hop, you know. But in the back of my mind, I was looking at some pimp dudes, and they would be like real fly, and I'm like, I probably could do this shit. I was like really like studying that shit, like it was like college, like I was really studying pimps. I was talking to like these bum motherfuckers who like junkies who used to be pimps, and they was giving their input. The real pimps, I was talking to like fucking hoes. I used to ask all the hoes. I used to ask all the hoes, like if they just gave me like a moment of like, you know, just, you know, like talking to Too Short, whatever. I'd be like, let me ask you a question. Why you a hoe? If that one question gets you so many goddamn rhymes, like so much shit to write about, like it's some stories, bro. Like, you know.
Yeah. Research.
Yeah, and you know that was just part of what I did.
How did your parents feel about it though? Like, I mean, it wasn't like Run DMC rap. It was like you street.
My mother was pissed when she found out about Too Short. Like, I probably got away with that shit for maybe, man, I was short dog for probably like 3 years before she found out. Like, I was probably in 12th grade when she found out.
Damn, really?
Yeah.
What it was really about?
Yeah, she found my rap book.
Whoa, and she was reading the lyrics.
And then she left me a note, like a long ass note, pages, and she was just pissed. She was pissed.
Wow.
You know, one of those notes start off like,
son, I
hope you don't really believe the things that you are writing. And if you do, then you need. Like, it went on and on and on, and like the coldest guilt trip ever. And we never talked about it in person.
Really?
And I never, like, even like as my career kept going, we always did the clean version of every album, and I would give her the clean version.
Wow.
And she would only listen to what came on the radio, and she knew, because everybody got to let her know, you know, your little filthy mouth. She was like, she always looked like, I ain't never heard it. She's like, he don't cuss in front of me, and never heard a dirty song.
She know you're a short dog.
Wow. So when did your family turn around, your parents turn around, like, all right, we give in. Like, you Too Short, you killing it.
It was a while. It was a while, like, cause, you know, they were both doing their thing, and, you know, they could stand up on what they had preached to me, that, you know, it's a good route to take of get a degree, go in the workforce, and, you know, have some value. But yeah, you know, I think I went through about a 2-year period of where everybody could have said, I told you so, don't do it. Like, you know, just music out there doing good, but you like nigga, I hear your songs, nigga, but your clothes ain't clean, nigga. You know,
you
like
still struggling.
That era. Like I hear you, nigga. I heard you on the radio once, nigga, but you ain't even got an apartment. you know the rapper life, man. You coming up, and the shit is on the verge, but it ain't happened yet. So yeah, it was some moments. I kind of hid out during that time. I kind of hid out from parental confrontation. So I wasn't like the one who was like, all right, I'm gonna follow my dream. I was more or less like avoiding them.
You would let's not come home or something, or
no. You know, I was out doing my own thing. I didn't live with my mother or my parents after the age of 18. Like I got out there and went for it, and I would just lie, like, you know, how you doing? How you doing? I'm good, I'm doing good, but you know. And fortunately, my mother moved away. I say fortunately because I was able to just free wild the fuck out. But she moved from Oakland to Phoenix right after I turned 19.
Yeah, you definitely wasn't going to Phoenix.
Yeah, it would have been no Too Short. That would have been. She moved in 1985. It would have been the end of the dream.
Yeah, so you just stayed back in town and doing your thing.
I had to do it. I knew it. I felt that I wasn't going nowhere. Yeah, man, you know, shit.
Sure. What was your first car you bought with your rap money? Do you remember your first car?
Well, just because I made a lot of money really fast, I rushed out, and because in Oakland you want to be like discreet, so I rushed out and bought this 73 Camaro to just so I needed to move around. I had been riding whips probably since when I turned 18, 19, because I was with Dean Hodges. He had a fleet of cars, so I was, you know, whenever you need to move around, you just grab one of his cars. And then later on, when I was getting the money with Ted Bohannon, who we started Dangerous Music, Ted always had about 8 cars. He'd be like, drive that one home, drive that, just do this for me, do that. Like we just, you know, we had a whole little system. I need to go pick up some shit from the distributor. So we had the whips. I wasn't never really like walking, but the first little whip I went and bought was the Camaro, because I needed that, how you get in and get out the city. Just that little, you know what I'm saying? Just that invisible.
Yeah.
You know, just a car that just ride really good, is, you know, and just creep in, creep out, and the city leave you alone in the middle at night, because even the richest motherfucker got to know how to move around the city at night. Like even the hardest motherfucker got to know how to move around the city at night, because if they just know that's you ain't gonna, you got to know how to
maneuver,
the wiggle. So, but I mean, right at that point, this is like 87, that I had just been whipping around, like, let me borrow the whip. Even when I was in high school with mama, let me borrow the whip. Like, I always was whipping something, but wasn't never mine. And then I bought that, and then right after I bought that, I already told Ted, when I took the Born to Mac album cover, that was Ted Bohannon's car. That day, I took the album cover. And I remember that day, we went to go shoot the album cover, Born to Mac, go look at it. Ted gave me like a rope. He's like, put the rope on. So I was like, you know, sitting on his car, wearing his rope, about to take the album cover. And Chris Hicks, who Chris founded the Loonies, he founded Drew Down and shit. Chris was like, man, fuck that shit, man, that's too short, man. He told, it was probably like 4 homies out there. He said, everybody take your chain out, put all your chains on Too Short. No. So I'm sitting on there wearing all the homies' jewelry, just like, you know, making this in the drop caddy. So the first thing I do in 87, we put out Freaky Tales. That's the artwork, all that shit. The shit just started making hella money. I'm like, bruh, you have to sell me the car. Like, you can't.
I need this What's the Eldorado drop tape, I think.
Yeah, you can't keep the car. I have to buy that car from you. Then I got to go buy hella rope chains, and then I got to ride all over the city.
Because that's it.
I have to give this to them, bring that album cover to life. And I did that shit. I rode that motherfucking top down through every hood in the Bay, everywhere, and just like if you were in the Bay when Born to Mac came out, it was not a album. That shit, you saw that shit in real life. I was riding by your fucking high school. I was selling that shit, man.
You selling the lifestyle.
Yeah. It was real. This shit was really real. I got the car from Ted. He had a fucking bootleg cell phone. They called them car phones back then.
But it was fake.
Like no, it was bootleg because it had a number. It worked.
Oh yeah, it's when people was chipping phones.
It worked forever. Like that motherfucker worked for like a year, and you couldn't get a phone call to it, but you could just make calls all day. Yeah. So I'm like riding with the caddy, you know, like you pull up on the girl, like look out the window. I'm right here. Look, come on.
That's like, a big deal.
Like, this nigga got a phone in his car.
Yeah.
I bet you want to call your mama.
Yeah, go ahead. Don't worry about the minutes.
Even when Barry Wise came to sign me, he was all excited. He came to Oakland in February. He flew in from a snowstorm in New York and landed on a beautiful February day in the Bay. Mm-hmm. I picked him up personally from the airport with the top down. I had not signed the job yet. Picked him up with the top down. He saw the phone laying there, and he was like, "Can I make a call?" He called the office. He was like, "I'm in a fucking drop-top Cadillac with too short in fucking California."
Driving like, around a sailor phone.
Like that's probably one of the moments, if you ask Barry Wise, he'd be like, "I remember that moment for the rest of his life."
Right. Wow. That's, man, I mean, sure, man.
But I had to do that, man, because it was like, even like when we tell the story, it doesn't bother me. Like, you know, it would bother me if that was like a fake moment in life, you know?
Yeah.
That's real happening in real life.
So you saw the city, I'm not going to say change, but they were like, yo, we saw the album cover. This dude really doing it. So things got, I'm not going to say easier for you, but the lifestyle, people were like, oh, well.
Everything was authenticated in real life. Everything in the records. Like, I would do interviews like I'm talking to you now, and I said, no, I didn't pimp hoes. I would say that back then. It didn't, because I felt like, man, ain't nobody gonna respect me if I tell a lie. Like I'm in real life, I'm talking. Like, you talking to me, we right here. I'm like, no, I put that pimp shit on the record, man. That shit, you know, bump that shit. Like, I'm telling you, Too Short's my character. I'm saying it from day one. And then in real life, if you want to call me whatever, Short, call me Dogg, call me Todd, whatever you want to call me, in real fucking life, I really am a real East Oakland motherfucking player in real life. Like, that's nothing fake about that. And I really roll with them dudes, and we really pulling up, and yes, he really does drive that Cadillac, and yeah, he really do got a house with a pool. Like, that part.
Man, fast forward, man. I see Menace to Society.
Yeah.
Like, that movie, Boys in the Hood, Menace to Society, was just so iconic, man. Like, how did you even get into Menace? Like,
I got the part because of what happened with Tupac. Because, you know, the story about Tupac was supposed to be in the movie.
Yeah.
He was supposed to play the conscious character, the Muslim dude.
Yeah.
And I don't know how true my version is, but Tupac got in a fight with one of the directors, the Hughes brothers.
Yeah.
And it was to the level of where he got dropped from the movie and, you know, probably charged with assault or some shit. I don't know, but
the Hughes brothers from up north.
They from Pomona. They from out here.
From LA. Okay.
And then they kicked him off the movie. Now, remember they had what's his name? They had that TV show, The Rock TV show.
Charles Dutton.
So they had him, and then they had Jada Pinkett. She was like not that big of a star, but she was one of the, you know,
people from different world. Yep.
And that's all they had.
Yeah.
They had Clifton Powell.
Yeah.
But everybody was like a new actor. Lorenz Tate was new. They was all new. And they just wanted somebody that they needed a name. They lost Tupac. That was like, you know, the cast a rapper in the movie when that little era was starting.
Yeah.
So they just slid me in the movie. I think I did all my parts in like a couple of days, 2-3 days.
Man.
And fucking, they spaced out my little couple of lines and shit. And it just, I really, I was offered a film career. And I was offered this by saying, you know, take these roles. They're going to be like these little thug roles, you know. And then while you doing this, get an acting coach, you know, build up your, you know, skills and shit.
Yeah.
Then start, you know, doing this other shit. And I dabbled in this shit a little bit, and I was like having so much fucking fun in life and just moving around and just like being a rock star I wanted to be. I was like, man, I'm not really up for this whole discipline film shit.
That's crazy.
And now, mind you, Cube and Latifah and Mos Def, none of them niggas had got rich yet.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And it was a decision made that that's one of my regrets. You know what I'm saying? Like I could have just taken the route, still could have had fun, still could have balled out, and just kind of like that was the '90s. And could have just
did both. You could have did acting and did the rap career.
Yeah. So when they started having these big ass movies and kept going, I was like, man, this
Ice-T and
but you know, I also every time I would get close to it and dabble, it never really felt comfortable to me. It never really like the passion never kicked in. So it would have been a forced play, but I think it's one of those forced plays that in hindsight I should have did it because of how lucrative it became.
Yeah.
But you know. It was a lot of shit back then. I was way in another world, another fucking universe. You know, fucking ATL, the fucking, you know, running back and forth to Vegas and Miami, and I was like, I'm only gonna be a rock star once.
Right. What made you move to Atlanta?
Just having fun, man. It was an all out drug war going on in Oakland, and I went to the Freaknik, and I had the time of my life. Freaknik '93. I came back to Atlanta for another convention called Jack the Rapper.
Yep. Yeah.
And I was like just hanging with the homies doing whatever, moving around and shit. And I just dipped off because when I was at the Freaknik, one of the homies from Oakland bought this big ass house in Atlanta. He opened up a business, little car wash and shit, and he was doing his little hustle and shit. And he was like, he showed me some property out there. And I was thinking about buying a house in Oakland for maybe like, you know, 500,000, 600,000, 700,000. And he was like, let me show you what you get in Atlanta for that. So now I'm having the time of my life. He showed me these houses. I go back home and it's just murder. The war is going down. So I get back to Jack the Rapper. I didn't go out there like I'm gonna buy a house.
Right.
But I remember some of the shit he showed me. I got a little rent-a-car found one of them little neighborhoods and just walked in the little sales office. I'm like, yeah, that lot right there, yeah, I'll take it. Just bought a fucking house.
Yeah. Damn. I mean, back then it was super cheap.
Yeah.
It's cheap now.
And then I fucking, by the end of that year, I was living in that house. By Christmas that year, we had Christmas. My mama retired from her job and moved in, and it was just a whole new vibe. And I kind of, all right, now look, you talking 1993 Atlanta. Now go do the history and tell me which artists, famous artists from Atlanta, what were they doing? What had they achieved by 93? Like, Outkast hadn't happened yet. It was,
that's 90.
You know, it was
Jermaine Dupri.
Jermaine Dupri was just getting the crisscross, you know, he hadn't had the brat yet. It was his, you know, he was just shining Dallas Austin. Tapped in a little bit with TLC. A lot of shit hadn't happened yet. And when I pulled up, I'm pulling up in 1993. I went platinum in 89, 90, 91, and fucking 93.
But by you being in Atlanta helped you get with some producers that helped your career with some.
I mean, it was
perfect timing.
First and foremost, it was nothing but love when I pulled up because it was open doors, and you know, people like Dallas Austin was like really giving me a lot of game on shit like getting my facility together and just, you know, just different people like my man Spearhead X, Big X.
Damn, Spearhead X, hell yeah.
Big X from the fucking Coalition DJs. He was like my main guy when I got down there. We was just, nigga took me to the hood, moving around. I just went all the way deep in it. College Park, fucking Decatur. I just went deep in the ATL life. I bought my house in the fucking SWAT, so it was like, it was all the elements. So I just had fun, man. Like, the West Coast didn't have no fucking strip clubs, butt ass nigga strip clubs. Back then in Atlanta, a table dance was $5. Like, she danced for you, butt nigga, for one song. It's $5. You can hang out like that all goddamn night.
Yeah. Stay for the whole night.
They dancing like, why you ain't looking at me? I'm like, just dance.
I got this.
Whatever you do, don't stop. Here go 100. Dance for the next 20 records.
Right.
Cool. That was my shit though, bro.
Man, yeah. So you saw a lot of Atlanta come up.
Exactly, but not just watched it. I was a part of it. I was in it. I was there, and you know, it changed the trajectory of my career because I was only into that bass shit and that shit talking and just rumble the trunk. I was just thinking the trunk. And then here I come. These guys are like thinking like make these strippers dance, you know, make some shit that they'll dance on the dance floor to. Yeah. And I'm just joining in and finding a whole new lane. And
did you ever think about signing some artists? down there.
I did a whole movement down there. I did a lot of shit. I did a lot of shit in Atlanta, like a lot. I'm, you know, maybe one day somehow it'll be documented some kind of way. But I have always gave people a way into the game. I've always put money in producers and artists' pockets. I've always got motherfuckers deals and always signed motherfuckers and put out projects and all kind of shit. And, you know, I got an extensive catalog of independent music that I did, you know, over the years, man. Even from day one, I was a fucking little ass kid, and I went and got Spice One and Rappin' Forte and a couple of other groups and put out a motherfucking album on them. Like that was after my first album. I always did that shit, always. In Atlanta, I had a crew called Nationwide. I just signed artists from all over the country, because that's what Atlanta was. It was a melting pot. And, you know, one artist rose to the top, Lil Jon. He was the one that shined and had a big career. But, you know, opportunity, man, it's just what you do with it.
Let's talk about some of these singles. Let's go talk about some of the big records.
Let's start with Blow the Whistle.
What's the story behind Blow the Whistle?
And that was years in. I'm gonna let everybody know. We starting there because we just starting there.
Blow the Whistle is, I guess now it's my signature song.
That's why I said that, because it's like no matter which club you go into between Atlanta, Dallas, New York.
So let's go put up a chart of every fucking artist who ever fucking lived, and let's find out at what point in their career did they make their signature song. When I made Blow the Whistle, I had already had like 8, 9 platinum albums, you know, 4 or 5 gold albums. I had it was done. It was like the career is solid. I was 40 fucking years old when that song came out. I had been rapping since I was 14. I signed a Jive when I was like 20, 21. And here 20 years later,
Blow the Whistle pop off.
A song, but then this song comes out and it did what it was supposed to do. It did, you know, it didn't really get no label love, but it did. It was cool. But the motherfucker never stopped. And I'm like you just look at some songs, some careers, and some, you know, scenarios like that, and it's like, bro, that's unpredictable.
Hell yeah, it's unpredictable.
So now that it's like this fucking formula, like it's just just throw it on for 30 seconds when you DJ. I don't know what the fuck the shit is. Like now it's like I don't know how you explain that, bro.
Did you feel that like it was going to be that big when you did it, or you was just like, this feels like a good record?
No, you get the chills, man, and you know which ones are like really the shit to you. It did hit that vibe right off the rip, but I think back, man, and I'm like I kept seeing, I saw it kept going. Now, one thing I can tell you that I do know is that it kept having a rebirth. So Jive didn't push the record like they should have when it came out. So they gave it this hard push on the West Coast, and it was a mega record, and they wouldn't follow up through the Midwest and down South. And it was doing what it did on its own. But then I was out there going to program directors in different cities like Detroit or wherever and saying, hey, can I come in on a certain night and do a free show for you? And all I want in return is spins. And I did that in a lot of markets for, you know, program directors or, you know, DJs who had like a little power and shit. And it gave it a little boost.
More legs.
So then the next thing happened is the song starts hitting cities like New Orleans. And it been out for like 4 or 5 years, and then they take to it one day like it's a brand new song. I don't know who was the force behind it. You know, somewhere down the line, LeBron got mad at the basketball player for talking shit about, Jay-Z got mad because the basketball player was talking shit about LeBron.
Yeah.
And asked me for the instrumental. Then he didn't tell me why. I sent it to him. He gave it a whole new life in New York. Like the fucking song.
Jay-Z did freestyle.
Like it was a brand new song in New York. And the motherfucker like would just jump to a certain country. And I'll call and they be like, man, that fucking shit is hot in Thailand. I'm like, what?
What?
Like 2017. I'm like it's the brand new hottest song. I'm like, what? So it kept getting born again. So thinking back, like I was gonna say, I think about the logic in it. I'm like, okay, what the fuck? Because Jermaine Dupri asked me one day, he said, you know, him and Lil Jon, he brought Lil Jon in the game.
Yeah.
I came along and Jermaine loved him as as his brain. He was the executive over there. He was making beats. I came and was like, you're an artist. And I was like, you can make all the records you want to make, because they probably wouldn't let him get on the mic over there. I got him in the studio, let him do what the fuck he wanted to do. And then
you hear this, man?
Yeah.
And then later in life, you know, Lil Jon instantly becomes a mega star, but later in life, he keeps giving me beats. Like, he keeps throwing me beats. Lil Jon threw me Shake That Monkey, like a lot of beats. If I go play you all the Too Short songs on Lil Jon's beat, off Lil Jon beats, you'd be like, I didn't even fucking know.
Yeah.
It's this many, and I didn't even know he did this or that. Like, a lot of people don't know he did Blow the Whistle. Like, that doesn't sound like a Lil Jon beat, but it is. And Jermaine walks up, he's like, man, I just gotta ask you one thing, man. What the fuck did y'all put in that song? Like, what did y'all do that night? Like, what the fuck is that? Like, bro, it's that magic. I don't know. It's
Too Short.
It's that fucking. I don't even know. I think when you think about the universe and vibrations and shit, there's these certain notes that. And just like winning notes in a certain succession or something. I just think that thing, because when Sweetie remade it, it feels good. When Drake remade it, feels good. Like, that song has those good vibrations. I think it's gonna get remade again in another way. Somebody's gonna keep playing around with that. It's the lyrics, the opening verse is really like it talks a lot about mathematics. Mm-hmm. It's a lot of numbers and math in the first verse. And then it's the little crowd participation part. It's a lot of elements of that song that just, it vibrates good. Is the most of the lyrics are just math. I'm just adding up shit if you hear it. I say a lot of numbers. I feel like that something in the universe about the vibration.
Going deep right now.
The math, just being in like, it's math is like the universal language. And then the part where it just make you finally say, bitch, that's the most fun shit in the world. Yeah. Like all them years of Too Short and his nasty mouth saying bitch, and like that's like all them ass whoopings that so many people got for getting caught listening to Too Short. All that shit. And your grandmama up there talking about, what's my favorite word? Yeah. Like it just all came in full circle with Blow the Whistle. It just all like even all through like the Death Row years, you know, Death Row Biatch, and you know, just all the different TV shows and comedians and fucking.
How many was it? 2 singers and 10 comedians?
I mean, I'm just saying it seeped off into pop culture thanks to Snoop Dogg. Snoop Dogg made the shit worldwide popular. Yeah. Blow the Whistle came back and just reminded, don't forget what's my favorite word. You know, it just reminded, like I was standing somewhere, I'm telling you, I was standing somewhere one day and they were debating. Somebody said that Snoop Dogg made it up. And then somebody was like, no, you know, Short did that way for him. They was like, no, man, I'm telling you. And I was just like, I'm not going to say nothing, but I'm like, I have to remind them that, you know, this is my contribution to pop culture. I give Death Row just as much credit. Like, they made it just as fun to say. Yeah. And the tag and shit, it was, I wrote everything Death Row. I was yelling the shit out too. So it just
happened.
It's something that we made up in a little bedroom smoking some weed when we was in high school, and it's now known all over the world. Japan, fucking every fucking language they know how to say biatch.
That's the story. You probably never told about a weird request of any lady wants you to call them bitch in their face. Has that ever happened?
You know, bro, that's like normal.
That's not normal to me.
That's that's like the most random ass times and people who you would never believe come up to me and ask me,
like Michelle Obama or something.
I would not say her, but I would say like somebody with their wife, and like either one of them may have requested at times, like, hey man, it's my wife. Just call me a bitch. Like, bro. Like
your wife.
Or the other way around. Yeah. Like, Too Short, man. Do me a favor, man. Call my bitch a wife.
Call my wife a bitch.
Yeah, I'm like, man, I said call my bitch a wife. Yeah. I'm from Oakland.
Yeah.
Call my bitch a wife. Hell no, I'm calling that bitch a wife. No, you know what though? I say the same thing 99% of the time. I'm like, only way I'm gonna call you a bitch is if I'm working.
And you're not.
I'm not calling you a bitch for free, so
if
y'all want me to go to work, we can negotiate real quick. There's a price on it. You have to pay me to call your bitch a wife.
Damn. That's crazy.
That's fuck
that. Let's talk about the time you're on Life After Death, Biggie Smalls album, or Notorious B.I.G. Mm-hmm. How did you feel when you got that call that Notorious B.I.G. wants you to do a feature?
I was on 2 Biggie albums.
Right. You on the first one then?
I wasn't on the first album.
You on the
second.
I know because I don't know what the fucking song was on what fucking album. I did a song on with The World Is Filled. I don't know what y'all was on.
That was on the second.
Then we did another song after that too, and I got the call from Puff Daddy, man. Like I don't know if Puff Daddy ever called you, but if Puff Daddy don't really talk in questions or nothing, he's like, yo, yo, Big said he wants you on the album. We recording up at Daddy's house in New York. When can you get on the plane? Blah blah blah. Like, you know, let's just go. Like you just do it. Like
right.
Let's go.
And how was that experience when you went to New York to do the project, do the song?
It was one of those high pressure moments. The way it went down, it was they kind of like backed me in the corner that night and kind of, you know, just I was fucking. I had a moment of like, you know, that doubt, like what the like shock, like it's Biggie, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like literally, if you listen to the song, Puff got the first verse.
Okay. Yep.
And when we get to the studio, there's a lot of motherfuckers in the session, and Puff plays the song. The hook's already on there. That's called Thomas.
Yep.
And fucking Puff's verse is already on there. Vibe is there. You know, Puff, he hit play. He putting the extra on it, making everybody love it.
He doing
so
that
now
thing.
we all love it. And we just kicking it. The song playing over and over again. All we do in the studio, we just playing it. So whoever writing, whoever doing what, we just kicking it. I ain't, you know, I'm going to write me a verse. I ain't touched the pen, paper, nothing. I'm just kicking it. A lot of smoking, drinking, talking, laughing, talking shit, beat playing. And then just out the blue, Big is like, all right, I'm ready. This nigga ain't touched a pen, paper. We vibing. We ain't even started like, you know, you get to write in the studio. You see the other person, you be writing.
Mm-hmm.
He already going in his head.
Man, this nigga just like, I'm ready. He goes in there and he says the first couple lines. Like, whenever it means in my system, ain't no telling. And he was announcing that he was going to go in there and knock the shot in one take. He was like, one take. And he fucked up. And he said, take me back. And the next take, he spit that whole fucking verse in one fucking take. The way you hear it.
What?
He spit that shit.
That's crazy.
And that nigga came out the booth and everybody in the room was like, ooh.
So it's on
the pressure's on.
So now it's on you.
Now the song got 2 verses, the hook, and one last empty verse. And I got an empty page in front of me. And it was just one of those moments, man. I was see, this is where Oakland always kicks in. So I only got one homie with me. It's me and P. And I pull P into the mind frame. I'm like, P, that nigga just murdered this shit, bro. Fuck I'm gonna do, nigga. And P's an Oakland nigga. He's not a rapper. He don't make music. He don't give a fuck. He just a nigga that be with me.
Right.
My nigga. P said, well, shit, listen to the song. He said, the hook say, the world is filled with pimps and hoes. I just tell you about those I know. He said, neither one of them niggas rapped about pimping. They didn't say nothing about no pimping or no hoes. I was like, say no more.
You already got it. Got it.
Yeah, I was like, I'm gonna write the song according to the hook, you know?
And fuck what they talking about.
And just I mean, they murdered it. It was murder. It was done.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I literally like, you know, as a songwriter, I'm like, I know what I need to do. I actually need to tie this shit together from the way Puff introed it to the way Big murdered it. Now I need to bring it home and make it a story about pimps and hoes that we know.
All right.
So all I did was something really easy, and I stuck with the subject.
Let me read a little bit for you. Too short and fuzzy. I had a whole lot of bitches in my lifetime. I've been blessed with the game. Always say the right lines. Yeah. Had a few prostitutes. If you knew the truth, they're like pimps. You can't let them do them like you. Something like that.
Can't let them do it to you.
Let them do it to you. She ain't no sucker. I know that bitch, man. She want to be a pretty woman, love a rich man.
Yeah.
Now here you come, drop top riding. You ain't no pimp, fake nigga. Stop lying. Pussy make money. Stick to the business. Street life, pimp shit. No, this was my. I'm sorry. Like back in, I'm really performing for Too Short. That's what I was looking for.
Right.
So how long did it take you to do this? Hold on.
Once I got the fucking drive, like that came quick.
Yeah, pussy make money, stick to the business. Think about the real motherfuckers that live it. Street life, pimp shit, make the whole respect the game. You bought the diamonds and cars. Strict, that's a shame. Say what you want, but I still figure she left you because you couldn't be like them real niggas. Say, I felt that line.
Yeah. You was playing it a lot.
Where was I playing it a lot?
That's what I'm saying. You get out the car, go somewhere, and tell some motherfuckers, you better respect me, motherfucker.
Yeah. You hear me?
After listening to that.
We're gonna go back real quick. Another song I love, Fuzz.
I'm about to go to my top two. Yeah.
Jazzy ass hoes, Fuzz, please.
Oh yeah, so that's one of my Jazzy Hoes is one of my openers that. Okay, that song, it doesn't have wings. It doesn't really like go down as a classic, but at the moment it was out, motherfuckers love that shit when it was out.
Dog.
I don't think it get enough playback in life like it's forgotten.
I go back to it's 1472 album, Jermaine Dupri. That Jazzy Hoes,
that opening verse, that's Short Dog, and I'm like I'm gliding that day in the studio.
But the one thing you're known for Too Short is also is the talking. Mm-hmm. Like you sitting up watching Nightline with your girl.
So yeah, and that's part of my what I bring to the table. Because okay, I've been around a lot of rappers, a lot of sessions, and I know, like 40 Rapid Fire, Gasoline, you know what I'm saying? Big with the wordplay. I've been with Tupac with the extremely fast. He writes these verses really fast and he says all these prolific things, and he gotta leave, and then you gotta listen to it later and go, what the fuck? And to hang and not get swallowed up and just be like the weak nigga in the room, I have things that I bring to the table. My shit is always say something funny.
Definitely.
Like, them niggas,
your punchlines.
They rap better than me, but they ain't funny as me. I always spit the real game. So I can listen to people, I'm not naming names, I can listen to a lot of people we know and love, and the one-liners, I'm like, yeah, that's a little flaw in the game. You didn't really word that right in terms of if you was solid with the game.
Yeah.
And I make sure that I always attempt to poetically word the game right, so that if I had to go in front of the pimp council, they're like, but just one song in section 2532 verse 4 you said violation, like I try to like be that meticulous about the game,
right?
Over the flow. And then the humor has to be in there, because I learned early on, if I said bitch suck my fucking toes, the bitch listening to this shit actually like it makes her giggle versus going, bitch, suck my motherfucking toes, bitch. That's a different effect than if I'm like, and then suck these toes, bitch. What? And she's like, I want to suck that nigga's toes.
Oh my God.
It's the way you say it. It's the Pied Piper of it, So the talking is the icing on the cake. So once I finish with the verse, all the shit I didn't rhyme, I'm just hitting you with the game. You like I could just take a couple one-liners on the way out, and it just make the song.
We got to go back, though. After you did that verse with Biggie, you come out. How long did it take you? You go into the booth, and what is their reaction?
So I rap my rap, and then I don't come out the booth. I'm like, punch me in, and I do the little story at the end. And the story at the end is a 1,000% true story. So I'm like, the reason why it's flowing to me like that is because I'm grabbing something that happened in real life. I ain't named nobody's names.
Yeah, of course.
I told a true fucking story. So my guy P is in there with me. He gave me the go in there and do what the hook said. So I told a story about some pimps and hoes I know, like some shit. And the story at the end of the song, after you love this song, you get this whole other thing that everybody also loved about the song, was that story in the end. And they like people used to quote all kind of little one-liners from that little ending.
For sure.
Like nigga, I was in 6th grade. The bitch was a hoe. Like whatever, you know.
It's a real story.
So what are Biggie and Diddy, everyone's reaction when you come out?
So after I said that, it was the same. Oh shit. Because at that time, pimping was like it was just coming off of strict probation in New York. Like pimping was like, you know, respect your black queen, you know, the baggy jeans and shit, and you know, like Latifah. I would you call Latifah bitch, you about to get punched.
Ooh, Millie Wild.
You feel me? So it was that's the vibe that it was on. And then right around the bling bling era, and people was like, man, I'm in New York. They're like, man, tell me a little bit about that pimping.
Right.
Like, so you're telling me, like they showed some interest. It wasn't really like we about to start pimping, even though New York does have some real pimps. But I'm talking hip hop subjects.
Yeah.
It wasn't like they was just gonna flip the script, but at the same time, a little crack opened up, and they wanted to hear a little bit about the pimping. So that was that story probably it probably like, you know, kind of numbed down the resistance a little bit.
Got it. And I'm glad you did it. I wanna talk about one of my favorite features that you did. I got two. That's my go-tos. Scarface. Let's talk about Scarface. Fuckface.
Oh yeah.
You must be used to. Is that all the fine? Is that
That's it.
The final thing. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I'm gonna keep rapping and singing, bro.
Yeah, that's Devin and Dude on the hood.
Yeah, we love
Shout
that.
out Devin and Dude, man.
And then fucking that was like a star-studded cast on that song. Fucking Tila, fucking me and Face and Devin. And then, you know, I was fucking that night, I was in Houston doing a show.
Okay.
And I guarantee you on Everything I Love, I was about to go fuck some bad bitch.
Right.
And then, you know, sometimes you're in Houston and Lil J will be in the crowd, you know, Jay Prince will be in the crowd, and some big dudes will come over and say, hey, Jay want to say what up. So you got to follow them big dudes, walk over, you get to say what's up to Jay. Ain't no other way to get to him. And, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And it's an honor if he call you over to say what's up. So, what's up, Jay? This time they came to me after the show. It's like, hey, Jay wants you to come to the studio. I'm like, fuck, now.
Because I'm about to knock down something.
Yeah, like Jay said come to the studio now. So I get the official, yeah, we here, come on, pull up. And that song, you know, this is another one of them situations. Face, man, it's 4 a.m. My voice don't even, like I got the Vegas voice right now, kind of raspy. My voice don't really work late at night. And after the drinking and the smoky ass club and shit, I don't try to make no songs. But he nigga don't say no to Jay. Yeah. And I got there, the whole song was done. And I'm like, here I go. Here I go. And I just like, fuck, man. Like, you know, I think collabs, as they started getting more and more popular, collabs are our favorite songs that we gravitate towards first when we hear about them. Yeah. It's a body of work from an artist, but we want to hear the collabs first, because the collab is when you like, man, you trying to work with artists you respect and know and love, and you fans of them too, and they just come with it. It's like they know who you are. They like, fuck. And motherfuckers be trying to just like really, like, as much as we smoking a blunt, they be trying to bip each other upside the head. Like, I'm about to walk up out of here. There's nothing you niggas could do to top this shit I just did. So
yeah, I'm gonna tell you my other one. Yeah. This is a personal fuzzy one. Snoop Dogg Dogfather album, produced by Superfly. You Thought, off the Dogfather album.
That was a funny session too, man.
Superfly is one of my favorite producer rapper dudes. Like, he's on my top 5 list. So when I heard the Superfly production, I'm like, okay, this is fire. Priest got on there, you know, he got on there and did his verse, dog.
That's a slick little beat.
Like, if you guys go back, do your homework, go to Dogg's second album, Dogfather, and put on You Thought. One of my favorite songs to play to this day. Yeah. You said it was a fun session. It sounded like it was a fun session.
They was trying to get me to sing that night, like the hook. And I was like, bro, I don't sing, man. They like, dude, everybody can sing. Just do it. Just do it your way. Like, man, I'm not.
Because everybody did sing. Everybody verse and they sing.
I didn't sing
mine. You thought you had my thing.
I didn't sing mine. Snoop sang mine.
Oh, you sure did, huh?
Yeah, I was like, I can't do it, man.
Wow.
But that was a style to me at that time. I was like, they trying to get me to do the Dog Pound style with the little melodic.
Yeah.
I was like, I can't do it. My voice, I probably could do a version of it. Now I'm a little more open-minded in the studio, and I like to play around. But then I get what they were saying. Just do it. But I wouldn't do it.
You wouldn't do it.
Like, nah, man, I don't sing, bro. I don't sing, bro.
Yeah. I mean, dude, it's so many collabs, like Jay-Z, you and Jay-Z on his album, like 2 back-to-back albums, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I lost count.
Yeah, y'all got some.
I did songs with, a whole lot of songs with Eric Sermon. Eric Sermon was the guy.
Yeah.
A lot of shit with him. A lot.
But so, Jay-Z's a big deal.
Yeah.
Man, you never heard me do the sing rap, though. You never heard me on auto-tune, and you never heard me, do the off-key or the... Everybody did it.
Yeah.
They all did it.
What's up, you?
I mean, I didn't do it because of any particular reason. I'm just saying, I can't sing, so shit.
Yeah. Well, all right, so you're known internationally, pimping. You going around the country, you going around the world. You the player, you the pimp. And then we find out a couple years ago, which was a shocker, which was where I'm going, which was a shocker.
Yeah, I had to Google that.
You wait until you're in your 50s to have your first child. Like, how does that even? How do you escape that?
So I didn't wait. So what happened was, at a young age, I found myself in a situation, and at that time, my girlfriend was, thinking futuristic and like, I'm not ready for that. So that was high school.
Yeah. So
later on, probably a couple times after high school, found myself in the same situation. And, I was doing my short dog thing, and then I kind of always gravitated towards like good girls, kind of like you would think I was with these hoes, whatever. But then I'm we talking future in college and doing it the right way and shit. And I kind of, when I was young, I went through a few situations where we came to the conclusion that, well, I'm really on this rap career thing, and you really want to do this, so do we really want to do that? And then we kind of mutually didn't do that. And then at a certain point in time, all while I'm having these years spread out of experiences, I got real close homies that's like 17, second kid. Other homie, young 20s, 4 baby mamas. Something like, I had 2 homies that was having a baby making contest.
What?
I think it ended at like 11 to 12. Like they said, I bet you can't make more babies than me. They was on a lifelong bet.
Wow.
It might have ended, I think it was 11 to 12, and one of them passed away. The other one probably went on to make about 17 total or something. But
crazy.
That's a hell of a bet.
There was a time where I started making a lot of money. And I started going, okay, I'm watching what the homies is going through now that they kids is like 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and they in these courtrooms and they getting hit with the back, motherfucking, you owe money and all this and mandatory. And all this shit.
Child support.
Custody and battles and court. And I'm like, I just got a little responsible. I was probably like, man, I might have been like 26, 27. I was like, you know what? Fuck this shit. I'm about to I am not getting in that position. And from that point on, I was super conscious. I don't give a fuck how drunk I was. I don't give a fuck if it was any scenario of like protected or unprotected. You are not getting this motherfucking sperm. It's not going in your vagina. I would do anything. Like I've been arguing with girls. They're like, "The fuck are you doing?" I'm like, "Nothing. I just like to jump up when I finish."
Yeah, get about that thing.
That's crazy that pimp player, international player was so on the I'm just so on the focus.
So okay, check this out. I'm with my girl. I done did just jump out, pull out shit, and act like I'm a porn star. She like, this next time she's ahead of me. She knows my routine. Now she got a grip on my back, and she's like,
you remember the moment?
I'm saying this is the battle I went through for 52 years.
Oh, okay.
And she's like, Now I guess I'm doing the motion of where she's like, it's about to happen. She's like, don't pull out. So now we in a fight because I'm about to get this, but she ain't finna get it. And oh man, I've been in arguments. Yeah, that shit.
Yo,
why you keep doing that shit? I'm like,
do you argue like you're not getting on top?
I gotta pull out the trauma speech. You know, my homies, they got like 8 baby mamas. It fucked me up. I can't go there. Like I escape speeches, bro. Like I did a lot of shit not to, and then, you know, I felt like I was them dudes. I felt like I would have.
Yeah, for sure.
I would have had 3 baby mamas by the time I was 25, and then a few more later. I felt like I was them dudes. So it's like fucking like looking at a fucking drug that you used to be hooked on. You're like, man, I can't hit that. Yeah. I can't. So, you know, that's how I felt about not being. I could have been a young father, but after 25 years old, it would have been dumb to like know that I'm living a lifestyle where I'm not going to marry you. I'm not finna.
You need to write a book for some dudes out here, dog.
Yeah.
But I wanted to enjoy mine. I didn't want to fucking like do that to a person, talking about the kid and the baby mama. I didn't want to fucking get in a financial situation because now at this point, it's not, if you're neglectful, you're going straight to court. And then it's not fucking a $250 a month. No, motherfucker. He looked at the books. Paid his chick $25,000 a month for the next fucking 18 years. Fuck that. Yeah. For a broad that I just liked at a party, fuck that.
Right.
I'm pulling out. Let go of my back.
He said, let go of my back. Do not grab my lower back, lady. Get off my lower back.
He up here fighting like,
man.
So it was a conscious effort of responsibility and just not being stupid.
So when you conceived your baby, you knew, you're like, okay, I
let it go. I mean, it was, you know, I'm at a point in my life now where it's more like everything is like legacy now. Everything is legacy. Everything is. There's no, you can't put me on a hit record right now and that does anything for me. Some new adrenaline rush, like put me on a hit record right now, and I'm like, that's supposed to happen. I work a lot, shit, you know.
Yeah, right.
I put a lot of verses out there. One of them motherfuckers gonna go somewhere one day, like you.
Right.
But I'm hearing that you guys are doing a documentary with Ray J. Is that still?
You talking about the kids?
Yeah.
Well, if you talk to Ray, it's like 20 shows in development right now. So
we looking for Ray J, man. We looking for Ray J. I gotta ask you a question. So we're talking
anything happened with Ray. We did do some pilots and shit though. Yeah.
Talking about legacy. So you never wanted to get married, or did you ever propose to somebody, or did somebody propose to you, or like?
See, man, I avoid these kind of questions because it's people listening. I don't want to talk myself into a box.
Do not talk yourself in a box.
And then at this moment here, the wife that I was gonna get, I don't get because she heard this shit.
So damn J-Lo.
I never said never. I'm gonna tell you, bro.
Okay.
I would marry for a partnership, which means we see this shit as a friendship, business, relationship that we need this to work going forward. I would never marry for, oh, you got some good pussy and it feels good, it's passion. I would not marry for just, I fucking love your eyes. I would not marry for that. Yeah. I would stay in that relationship for years like a marriage, but I wouldn't marry for that reason. Marriage to me, the way it's set up out here is that it ain't like you can fucking get your 5 wives and they do 5 different things. Marriage out here is set up like a fucking agreement. It's a contract. Yeah. So I'm like, if we're going to do the contract, let's do good business.
Do good business all around.
So, you know, I don't think my wife has to make a lot of money. I would marry for money. I would definitely marry for money. That's part of the pimping in me. Like if a rich bitch fell in love with me and was like, marry me, I'm like, yeah, bitch, you worth 80 fucking 100 million shit, bitch. 8,000 millions and 40 billion, bitch. I'm in, bitch. I married Jeff Bezos' ex-wife so motherfucking fast. Bitch, like, and be like, bitch, I only married you for the money, but
let it be known.
I love you, but I wouldn't have married you if you was not rich. So I'm just saying, but I would also marry for that good partnership that is not based on,
I get it.
Money is based on how's it going to function. Yeah. So, you know, and I just make good decisions, man. I feel like I make good decisions when it comes to commitment.
You've been on it though.
I ran from some good ones though, bro. I could have started a family
a long time ago,
5 times, and it would have been solid. And I didn't want to do that to anybody.
Yeah. Cold feet.
No, I just knew I was gonna fuck up. I was not.
Yeah, wasn't ready for that.
I was not gonna not fuck up. I'm gonna fuck up.
Being honest.
Let's talk. Let's fast forward to what's going on now. What you've been working on. I've been privy to go in the studio and hear some things. Mount Westmore. Let's talk about that. Snoop Dogg,
Ice Cube.
Too Short, Ice Cube, E40.
Dope.
Yeah, 2 OGs from the Bay linked up with 2 OGs from LA, and we're gonna bring you, the next run that we're gonna do as live on stage artists is gonna be together.
Wow.
So
when we gonna get this project?
The project is slated to drop before the end of the year.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it's strictly about, it's just that whole longevity in hip hop, man. Like everybody is cool where they at. Cool. We just cool. Like we don't need this shit. But still in all, Snoop Dogg loves doing shows. He does shows. Ice Cube loves doing shows. He don't need to do no. He does shows. Same thing with me and 40. And it's like we get together, find ourselves on the same bill, and everybody getting paid what they get paid, but the fucking arena is sold out. And the promoter got to call 4 different camps, negotiate, pull the show off. But now Snoop Dogg got the Snoop Dogg's Army.
Oh yeah, Snoop Dogg Army, yeah.
Which is they do concerts.
Yeah, agents.
And he's like, why the fuck do we got to get hired? Let's hire ourselves, and we get the whole fucking arena. We sell it out. So, Ice Cube and 40 gave birth to the shit. 40 called Cube. They talked it out. They called me. We talked it out. Snoop jumped in. Everybody's on board. And it's like, if we drop a project together, we give it a name, now you got to build Mount Westmore. If you build Snoop Dogg, Ice Cube, Too Short, E40, shit gonna sell out. If you book Mount Westmore, shit's gonna sell out. But it's just a different scenario now. Like you get, and just think about it, man. Just think about it. So each one of us, easily, I could fucking blindfolded, hands tied behind my back, I could do a 1-hour show and rock the fucking crowd. It's nothing. Nothing.
It's easy.
All of us got that. So now you don't want to see a 4-hour show. So now we start condensing the show. How great of a moment is that? Like if we just knocked it down just to 3 hours, like you could literally, we could go 3 hours with no intermission and just have your
for sure.
And have you hit after hit after hit.
Damn.
Yeah, you and E40 alone got some slappers.
So,
I fell asleep on your verses. I was like, these dudes are going crazy. Like,
so then, look, I know we went 3 hours. So then,
right.
So then you got the fucking, you got the Four Tops, the Supremes, Smokey Robinson, Temptations. Every time you send out the Motown review, the motherfuckers was to the wheels fell off.
Yeah.
The motherfuckers stepping. Sold out all over the world. So that's the vision that we have. We're not about to go on tour till we fall dead, but at any time, we made 50 songs. So we gonna keep putting out a little project, and as we get older, we might end up on the Vegas Strip doing a run.
Why not?
It could go. It could go anywhere. So basically, at our age, Snoop Dogg is 49. He by the time it dropped, he's gonna be 50.
Yeah.
So at our age, we could still sell out an arena. We could take this shit on the road in any country. I mean, I just think that it's these statements that we're making in hip hop. Like, what is this shit? We made statements. We're like, it's a career. We made statements. It's $1 billion industry. We made statements. It's the hottest genre on the planet. We make statements, bro. You ain't gotta fucking stop when you turn 30. They thought we did. When you turn 40, they thought we did. You telling me I can still get money as a rapper when I'm 50?
Yeah.
I'm over here talking this shit about fuck you old niggas. Like, bro. I'm just saying.
Yeah, y'all trailblazing.
Just looking, I'm telling you, bro, like you sit there and talk this shit like Man, I'm gonna rap for a little while and I'm gonna quit. But I'm like, I remember one day I told Red Alert. I was like the retirement, the 2 Short retirement.
Yeah.
It was like, man, BB King ain't fucking retired. Jazz musicians don't retire. Why the fuck rappers gotta retire?
Yeah. That's what you said?
Yeah. I'm like, damn, why the fuck I gotta retire? I make a lot of money.
Wait, so you in your retirement having this conversation?
I had announced it. It was a PR campaign. It was like, no, we ain't retiring. So I'm like, man, after that, I was like, okay, I'm gonna stop rapping when rap don't get no dough. When it's not my job, when it's not the thing I love doing and I'm eating off of it, I'm just gonna stop. Whatever. I mean, I could stop rapping right now and I make enough money off the publishing and shit sure. And the fucking shit that's out there that, you know, that'll come forever. But till the wheels fall off, bro. Like they call right now and do a show for 30, 40, 50 racks. Like, what the fuck am I gonna stop rapping for?
Yeah, for what? Yeah.
Fucking 55. I did 55 years old. I did 4 shows this weekend.
Yeah,
you did 4 shows this weekend.
He's supposed to come this week. He's like, man, I'm out. I'm out of town.
They booked me 4 times, so I did 4 shows.
Yeah, he came back this.
Come on, Short.
Yeah,
that's man. You giving up game, man.
Yeah, why not?
I'm just saying, man. We blazing a trail. You know, look at the careers of like Fat Joe. Look at Nas. Look at Jay-Z. Look at E40. You know what I'm saying? Look at Snoop Dogg. It's a whole bunch of them. It's a lot of them, man.
Yeah,
they've been
still moving. Ice-T, Ice Cube.
Come on, man. I mean, and you talk about the ones who exceeded in film. We hip hop, man. Hip hop is a motherfucker, and you got a lot of guys where I'm at, man. Where you like, I ain't got no fucking Yeezy shoe, and none of that other shit. But I've been balling for 30 years off hip hop.
Yeah,
and there's a lot of dudes out there, nice crib, nice motherfucking lifestyle. Now you know, ain't shit changed. You thinking like. If I don't see you fell off. I'm like, nah, hip hop, bro. Like hip hop got, you know, there's some OGs, like, you know, cats like Warren G, man. Warren G go out and get that same $25,000, $30,000, $40,000 a show and fucking selling beats and producing motherfuckers. He ain't bragging on none of that shit, but he doing it.
Yeah.
It's a lot of motherfuckers doing it though. So I'm like, this thing we got called hip hop, it may have a slight generational gap, but I really think that's the ego of the genre. And not so much as the genre itself, because all those egomaniac old cats really do sneak and listen to the Migos, lying motherfuckers, because that shit be jamming.
Yeah.
And the young niggas who be like, man, fuck them old niggas. They really do have some favorite shit they grew up on. And they be like, oh, for real though, nigga, my mama used to bump you. Yeah. Like, nigga, I know your mama used to bump me, nigga. I know you grew up with 2 Short bumping your house, nigga, because you from Detroit, nigga. I know. Like this, I just know the science of it. So,
man.
We act like we separated, but it's still good music, man. It's still you listen to rap right now, man. It's the same formula of, you know, recycle a little something. You know, R&B is doing it a lot, and I'm hearing the music of my childhood all on the radio right now. I'm hearing the music of my mama shit. They they fed me. It's still coming through. You know.
Yeah.
You know, Jeremiah and them. They grabbing shit, and it's like it's still the vibe. So if you don't like the cadence or the pronunciation, that's personal. I can take you through every era of hip hop and show you where somebody was not being very articulate, and we still loved it. Or somebody else was whack as fuck with a flow and it still creeped through, or we was like, you whack, you'll never get in. It was every element that's now has always been, always.
Yeah.
It's cats right now that spit venom and got killer flow and all kind of shit, man. Like, you look, I mean, even like a dude like Moneybagg, like
Moneybagg, yo, shout out.
He might not be the slickest flow, but I see him like a nigga like me. Like, I wasn't doing the slickest flow, but I was spitting a lot of game. And when you listen to this
it's real talk.
It was, you know what I'm saying? So it's a lot of that right now. A lot of these cats, to me, I'm looking at them, I'm listening to the words, and it's resonating with me. I'm like, okay, little baby, I know you've been somewhere and seen some shit, and you know how to run it back. So I like it.
Yeah, listen.
One more question. Excuse my ignorance if I'm missing. Did you and Tupac ever do a record?
Yeah, you just got to go to YouTube when you think shit like that and just type in the 2 names that come up. Tupac was on my album Cocktails.
Cocktails, okay.
And we did that song, This Is How We Do. And then if you go listen to the one I like even better, I like that one, but the one I like better than that is Ant Banks' song, that This Is For The Hustlers.
Yeah.
It's like, that's all of us on there.
Wow.
Yeah,
what is your favorite record? Like if you had to go back and be like, all right, I like this as a complete album. What out of your 21, 22?
I think the best album I ever made, formula wise, was album number 10, Getting It. That's the best album that we made. The way we were producing at that time, and the way we were using the instruments and the songs and the singing and the mixing, it was the best one of that era. And
dope album cover too. You was a little kid with the Mustang.
It was just it was an evolution from Born to Mac to Life Is Too Short, Short to Pimp, Short Dogs in the House, Get In Where You Fit In. All those albums came to a full circle at Getting It. And then if you notice after Getting It, it started changing a little bit because I started bringing in. I was only using our guys before that. It was all
your producers?
Yeah. So when I get to Atlanta, then I'm pulling from everywhere now, and I'm letting this shit evolve. And you could say, I wish the Dangerous Crew would have stayed together and kept making that sound. But I feel like it's very likely that after Tupac and Biggie both got killed on the West Coast, people hated the West Coast. They went through a whole fuck California phase for a lot of years. Yeah. And I think that I would have got categorized as that if I kept going that same route. And then me turning that corner and starting to see where a Memphis, Tennessee cat would take me fucking with Jazzy Faye, or Atlanta, Georgia dude would take me fucking with Little John, and just, grabbing beats from cats from Detroit and even Eric Sermon from New York. That gave me a whole new shit. I fuck with Eric Sermon. I fuck with Biggie. I fuck with Jay-Z before I fuck with Big. Mm-hmm. And all of a sudden, everybody in New York wanted to get a verse. And it's that would not have happened if I would have stayed in my little box with Dangerous Crew in the Bay, never would have moved to Atlanta. That I would have been probably just a 90s rapper.
Stunt your growth.
A 90s rapper.
Wow. So you got to step out there.
Step out your
You
box.
giving this game, man, listen.
This has been a great interview, bro.
Thank you,
I'm
brother.
sorry just because we're talking to the two.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, you can't get to where I got to without being gamed up, man. You can't even get in and out of the situations. You can't get this far, bro. This is longevity.
Yeah.
This is longevity.
This is awesome, man.
We appreciate you, brother. Can we get up a Too Short? Thank you, brother. Thank you.
I've learned so much today.
Longevity, man. Look at
you got it. You're the definition of it. You're the definition of longevity.
Listen, guys.
And congratulations on everything, brother.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we're going to the new phase, fatherhood.
Yeah.
I'm 55, I guess. I don't know if I'm supposed to be a senior citizen. I don't know. But
AARP.
It's coming.
I get it.
I say you only as old as the women that want to fuck you.
So how old are you, Short? Talk to me.
Yeah, 28.
I'll be 30 soon.
Yeah. Nah, he called me today and he says, I got to do something with my daughter. I said, hey, I understand. No problem.
Yeah.
I made it easy because I get what those calls are. Yeah. I have a daughter, so.
Yeah, the day was rearranged.
Easy.
And I'm like, what? Okay. Let's do it.
No, we appreciate your time, man. This one goes down. This is
so
one of the ones.
The last thing I'm gonna say though is
yes, sir.
After years of being a super player, and then now I have this little girl. All the women who ever didn't get what they wanted from me, I promise you, I'm paying reparations through this little girl. Yes. I'm giving her all the love, all the gifts, all the everything that I had shortcomings on, those emotions that I couldn't express. I'm doing it now, so she getting all of it for y'all.
She's your heart.
Yeah, I'm sorry I couldn't get this earlier. I feel like maybe if the game would have gave me a daughter earlier, I probably would have got it.
Yeah,
but I got it now.
You got it now.
Him and Jay-Z, they got a little later in life.
It's all good.
Hey,
that's what they do to old players. They just throw you a daughter.
Yes, sir.
Change the game.
Yeah.
Hey, man, FAQ podcast, Too Short. Can y'all please too short. Subscribe, follow, watch FAQ Podcast on YouTube, FAQ Podcast on Instagram. Share it, comment.
Please.
I mean, look at the pedigree that is sitting down with us.
Say that.
Look at the pedigree that is sitting down with us, man.
Shout out to Oakland, California, man.
Yes.
Town business.
Town business. Living legend, man. It's the FAQ Podcast. We'll see you next time.